Hello everyone. In this presentation, we'll cover about diagrams in the UML. Presentation consists of diagrams in the UML, common mechanisms in the UML, and extensibility mechanisms. First, the diagrams in the UML. A diagram is a graphical representation of a set of elements rendered as a connected graph of vertices, that is the things, and arcs, that is the relationships. You draw diagrams to visualize a system from different perspectives. The same element may appear in all diagrams. A diagram may contain any combination of things and relationships. UML includes 9 diagrams. The first one is the class diagram, second is object diagram, next use case diagram, sequence diagram, collaboration diagram, state chart diagram, activity diagram, component diagram, and deployment diagram. The class diagram shows a set of classes, interfaces, and collaborations and their relationships. These diagrams are the most common diagrams found in modeling object-oriented system. An object diagram shows a set of objects and their relationships. These diagrams address the static design view or static process view of a system as do the class diagrams. A use case diagram shows a set of use cases and actors and their relationships. An actor is a special kind of class. Use case diagrams address the static use case view of a system. Sequence diagram and collaboration diagram are kinds of interaction diagrams. An interaction diagram shows an interaction consisting of a set of objects and their relationships, including the messages that may be dispatched among them. Interaction diagrams address the dynamic view of a system. A sequence diagram is an interaction diagram that highlights the time ordering of messages. A collaboration diagram is an interaction diagram that emphasizes the structural organization of the object that send and receive messages. Sequence diagram and collaboration diagram are isomorphic, meaning that you can take one and transform it to the other. A state chart diagram shows a state machine consisting of states, transitions, events, and activities. They are important in modeling the behavior of an interface, class, collaboration, and emphasize the event-ordered behavior of an object. An activity diagram is a special kind of state chart diagram that shows the flow from activity to activity within a system. An activity diagram emphasizes on the flow of control among objects. A component diagram shows the organizations and dependencies among a set of components. Component diagram address the static implementation view of a system. They are related to class diagram in that a component typically maps to one or more classes, interfaces, and collaborations. A deployment diagram shows the configuration of runtime processing nodes and the components that live on them. Deployment diagrams address the static deployment view of an architecture. They are related to component diagrams in that a node typically encloses one or more components. Now we'll see about common mechanisms in the UML. UML is made simpler by the presence of four common mechanisms that apply consistently. The first one is specifications, next is adornments, then common divisions, and number fourth is extensibility mechanisms. Specifications. The UML is a graphical language. Behind every part of graphical notation, there is a specification. This specification provides a textual statement of the syntax and semantics of that building block. Next is adornments. Every element in the UML's notation starts with a basic symbol to which can be added a variety of adornments specific to that symbol. For example, this particular figure shows transaction as an abstract class because it is written in italic format, whereas execute and rollback as the public operation because the operation names are prefixed by the plus sign. Timestamp is the private operation because it is prefixed by the minus symbol. Similarly, the priority operation is a protected operation because it is prefixed by the hash notation. Common divisions. In modeling object-oriented system, the world often gets divided in at least a couple of ways. There is a division of class and objects. In UML, you can model class as well as models objects as shown in the figure. In UML, there is a separation of interface and implementation. In UML, you can model both interfaces and their implementations. Here, the figure shows spellingwizard.dll component that implements two interfaces, is unknown and is spelling. Now we come to the extensibility mechanism. The UML provides a standard language for writing software blueprints. The UML is open-ended, making it possible for you to extend the language in controlled ways. The UML's extensibility mechanisms include stereotypes, tagged values, and constraints. Stereotypes. The stereotype extends the vocabulary of the UML, allowing you to create a new kind of building block that are derived from existing ones but that are special to your problem. For example, here the exception class overflow in C++ or Java is shown. Next is the tagged values. A tagged value extends the properties of a UML building block, allowing you to create new information in that element's specification. For example, here the class event queue is extended by making its version and author explicitly. Constraints. A constraint mechanism extends the semantics of a UML building block, allowing you to add new rules or modify existing ones. For example, you might want to constrain the event queue class so that all additions are done in order. As shown in the figure, you can add the constraint that explicitly marks these for operation add. That's the end of this presentation. Thank you.